Bismillah, Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to day 4. And today I want to tell you all about a gold coin. Not this gold coin, because for safety reasons that wouldn't be a great thing to do. But think of this as a representation of a gold coin that changed my life. My journey over a decade ago started with a gold coin, and I still remember looking at that coin, weighing up my decision, feeling the weight of it, not just physically but emotionally, because that gold coin wasn't just a piece of metal. It was a security, a safety net, a symbol of something that I was taught to never touch unless you absolutely had no other way. But I stood at the precipice of a decision because at that moment, I knew something had to change in my life. Things had gotten so bad. I had been leaking my energy, my peace, my barakah into relationships that didn't serve me, into patterns in relationships that were literally making sick, into expectations and situations that were draining my physical health, my spiritual health, and most of all, leaving me emotionally broke. And just like you might be realizing right now, I saw that if I kept showing up in the same way, nothing was going to change. So I stood with that gold coin in front of me, and I knew that I had two choices. I could either sit there making dua, waiting, because I was reading tahajjud at the time, I was praying for a miracle. And I could sit there waiting, hoping that my circumstances would magically shift, that Allah would just send a solution from the sky for me, while continuing to pour my energy into the same choices, into the same cycles that were killing me. Or I could take a stand. I could take action. I could take action towards making things different. Instead of just passively waiting for a change, I could take action towards it. So when an opportunity came to invest in some serious self-development work that would shift my relationships, my energy, my mindset, my entire life, I had to decide. And at the time, I didn't have a lot. The only thing of real financial value I had was one gold coin that had been gifted to me. And if you understand how Desi communities work, you know a gold coin is not something that you just sell on a whim. It's a fail-safe. It is a last resort. So I really sat there and wrestled with the decision, should I sell this to pay for the self-development course, this program that could effectively change everything for me, but I had no guarantee that it would. No one could promise me that my life would change overnight. No one could say, Zaahida, this investment will 100% work for you. But I also knew something else. If I told anyone that I was even thinking about selling this gold coin, they would talk me out of it. Not just that, they would probably shame me and judge me a little bit. They would tell me, come on, don't be a garrak. Are you really going to get taken for a ride? They would tell me, because they cared for me, that I was being sold. I was being a garrak, and I shouldn't take something so valuable that is a fallback and put it into this thing that might be completely a dud. I knew that if I told them and let their voices get into my head, I would doubt myself. And honestly, I just did not have the emotional and mental bandwidth to deal with the decision at hand, to deal with everything I was dealing with, and try and convince them of my decision. Something in me knew this was right for me. I felt it inside. I didn't have 100% certainty that it would work out, but something in me was pulling me. Through all the dua and all the tahajjud and istikhara that I did, I knew that there was something pulling me. It wasn't just logic. It wasn't just reasoning. It was my gut instinct, my intuition. And at the end of the day, Allah placed that in me for a reason. I didn't need anyone to get it. I didn't need to justify it to others. I didn't need to waste my emotional and mental labor trying to explain why I was willing to sell this gold coin to invest in a self-development program that may just make a huge difference in my life. So I made dua, I spoke to Allah, and I did it. Was I scared? Yes. Did I have doubts? Absolutely. But I also knew that if nothing changed, nothing changed. That if I kept doing the same thing over and over, I would keep having the same result and be in the exact same position a year from then, 2 years from then, 5 years from then. That there was never going to be a good time. I just had to decide that this was the time. So I did it. I sold that gold coin, and I used the money to invest in myself. And subhanallah, I never looked back. And even after that, that was not the last thing that I invested in. I normalized investing in myself for the sake of my akhirah. I normalized looking at the return on investment for my dunya and akhirah. After that, I kept making financial decisions that wouldn't make sense to most people. While other people were spending on expensive weddings, expensive cars, upgrading their cars, I was investing in myself. I was prioritizing the return on investment of my personal growth, because I knew that healing myself, healing my relationships, the way I approach things, setting boundaries and breaking out of emotional cycles that no longer served me wasn't just going to change my dunya, it was going to change my akhirah. So yes, of course, I would have loved to drive a fancier car earlier, but for years I drove a really simple car whilst prioritizing investments in my self-development. And in every step, alhamdulillah, my investments came back many times over, in clarity, in peace, in overflow, in opportunities, and in steps forward in my business and my personal life, subhanAllah. I could not afford to stay stuck. I could have clung to that gold coin, holding on to the illusion of safety, while staying in the exact same cycles of depletion, overgiving, and emotional burnout. Or I could spend on myself. I could invest in myself. And that is the purpose that Allah created money and resources for, so that we can utilize it to create the best dunya and akhirah, or create our dunya for the sake of our akhirah. Let me tell you, I didn't expect someone to come and save me. I didn't expect that program to magically fix everything. What I did expect was myself to commit, to do the work, to show up and give everything I had. The certainty and the sufficiency that I brought was me. I knew that I had been calling on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He had provided an opportunity, and I was going to do the best I could and trust that He would place barakah in my commitment. Right now, you are making decisions every single day that are either leading you toward overflow, towards barakah, towards having even more overflow to give to others and to your akhirah, or it's keeping you stuck in depletion. Most people don't realize it, but they are leaking their energy out all the time because they don't have the containers, they don't have the boundaries to ensure that they're living their life for Allah. Most of how they're making their decisions is about people pleasing and gaining people's validation. Let me tell you what this looks like in real life. So let's look at family expectations and emotional labor. This might look like you constantly having an overthinking pattern. What are my in-laws thinking about me? What will my extended family think? With every decision you make in your marriage or your children or career, bending over backwards to please people who can never be satisfied because you keep thinking, if I make them happy, everything will be okay. But making them happy is impossible. Running the same conversations in your head, dreading the next gathering because you already know that it's going to drain you. Now that's just your personal life. Let's look at your workplace. Let's look at you getting emotionally depleted in office politics that don't serve you. Spending hours dissecting what your boss meant by a certain tone of voice instead of focusing on your career growth and personal excellence. Overthinking how you present something to your employee instead of just getting on with business. Let's look at how you carry emotional weight that isn't yours. Maybe you take on your friends or your siblings or your co-workers' stress as if it's your own. Maybe their stress keeps you up at night and that you think that's the way that you show love and show care and concern. You constantly feel like it's your job to fix everyone else's problems, and you can't be happy unless everyone around you is happy first, which is an impossible task because there's always going to be someone that Allah is testing in some way. The result of it, you're burnt out because you're doing too much, and a lot of it is mental and emotional overload. And because you're doing too much of the wrong things, you are investing too much of your time, attention, and energy into what is not going to bring you those big akhirah gains. And so you're spiritually drained because your mind and emotions are so cluttered that there's no space for khushu. There's no space. You keep thinking to yourself, I'm going to do that tafsir. I'm going to further my deen. But you just don't have the energy for it. And this is exactly how shaitan keeps you stuck, keeps your wheels spinning. He doesn't do it by stopping you from reading salah. He doesn't make you stop believing on Allah. Shaitan is sneaky. He knows exactly how to get the people pleaser in you. He exhausts you with distractions and makes you believe that those distractions are actually going to be akhirah gains, so that you have nothing left for what actually will create akhirah gains. How do you fix this? What is the solution? It starts with 3 powerful shifts that I'm about to lay out for you now. Number 1, boundaries that activate barakah in your relationships, in your energy, in your ibadah, in your choices. You are making so many decisions every single day. You wouldn't let someone walk into your house and just take whatever they wanted. Let a stranger just come in and help themselves. Then why are you letting people come into your energetic space and rob you of your energy, your time, your mental peace? And guess what? They're not doing it. You are leaving the door wide open. It's time to stop over-explaining yourself to people who have already decided to misunderstand you. It's time to stop giving free emotional labor to situations that are probably never going to change with your effort. You have to leave it to Allah. And it's time to stop investing in people who don't invest back in you. Now, some of these relationships are relationships that you have to keep for the sake of family ties. You have to learn how to do that, how to keep the respect and do your duty without investing in a way that depletes you. Number 2, shift from low value coping to high value healing. Low value coping looks like numbing out on social media, Netflix, scrolling or doom scrolling. It may look like complaining but never setting actual boundaries. It may look like even overthinking everything instead of taking action. So you just get caught in these anxious spirals. Whereas when you shift into high value healing, you actually face the discomfort and you make intentional shifts. You have a blueprint for change. You look at what's not working and you look at a new way and you say, this is the way I'm moving forward, and I'm getting help and getting support and I'm moving towards it. You learn how to regulate your emotions, so you stop making your decisions from fear or guilt. And you invest in skills that make your life easier, not just make your day easier. So you think long term. You're not just looking at the quick fix of dopamine rush of, yes, I people please that person, now I'm a good person, and then you just wait for the next time. You actually invest in skills that in the long term are going to contribute to barakah. And you align your barakah with your purpose. Listen, you don't know how long you have in this dunya. The decisions you make today are not just shaping your future in this dunya, it's shaping what kind of akhirah you will inherit. What you choose to say yes to today and what you choose to say no to will determine not just what your life looks like 6 months or a year from now, but what your akhirah will look like. Every decision that you are making has an impact, a result in the akhirah. We don't have time to play with. We don't have time on our hands. I always say money is a renewable resource. Time is not. And this is why I created the Reclamation. I saw too many good-hearted, generous, caring women like you who are in emotional exhaustion, constantly giving but never feeling truly supported, never feeling appreciated in their lives. And that's why, to me, the Reclamation isn't just a program. It is my life's work. It is my life's purpose, subhanAllah. It is the container where I pour my heart and soul into walking this path with you for an entire year. Yes, 1 year. Because we're not playing around here. This is your dunya and akhirah at stake. This is your health and your relationships at stake. This is the space where you get the exact step-by-step process to shift into high-value solutions. You will leave there knowing exactly how to approach issues in your life that now leave you confused and anxious. We are talking about 12 months of mentorship, so you are not doing this alone. You have me with you every step of the way. You have access to my coaching. You have access to Q&As and a sisterhood, a community of women who actually get it. And these are remarkable, amazing women, from authors to real estate moguls to doctors and therapists and homeopaths. These are amazing women doing great things in the world, subhanAllah. If you have been waiting for a sign, this is it. Because the Reclamation at this level of support, at this price, it might not be here again. I don't know if I'm ever going to do it as a live 12-month cohort ever again. Not at this price point. Because let me tell you, you have to look at an equivalent out there, something fairly close to it. You are looking at investing $3,000 to $4,000 for an 8-week program, whereas the Reclamation is $3,333 for 12 months, an entire year of support directly with me. And honestly, it is a steal. Yes, we have payment plans that can look like $297 for 12 months. And when you join within the next 48 hours, you will get, and you join for paying full, you will get an amazing bonus. I just want to tell you that right now to work with me one-on-one costs $15,000 US. But when you join Reclamation within the next 48 hours and you pay in full, you get a 45-minute one-on-one with me absolutely free. And you can use this one-on-one anytime within the 12-month container, subhanAllah. Now, if you're not able to jump in pay in full and you want to take the payment plan option, I still have a juicy bonus for you. Join the Reclamation within the next 48 hours and you will get access to my uncensored, unedited Besharam money trainings. And these money trainings are not just about money. I have had clients reach out to me and tell me that although it was a money training, it healed and released so much in other parts of their life that they didn't even realize were linked to their shame about money and to their money blocks. These money trainings are absolute gold, subhanAllah. They will shift everything you know about how you handle money in your life, how you think about money, the level of tawakkul that you steward money with. These are life-changing trainings, and on their own, they are $2,000. However, if you join in the next 48 hours, you get access to them for free as a bonus into the Reclamation. Now, tomorrow, I will be taking you behind the scenes into the Reclamation. I will be showing you exactly what you get, exactly what you can expect. But in the meantime, this is your moment. The Reclamation is open for enrollment. As soon as you enroll, you get immediate access. What I love is Ramadan is around the corner, and this is an ideal time to begin. And of course, we amend our Ramadan schedule to ensure that your last 10 days are untouched for ibadah. But imagine coming into the Ramadan with a different level of khushu, with knowing that you're going into Eid, feeling spiritually uplifted, and knowing exactly how to handle any relationship issues that pop up your way. The doors are officially wide open. It's up to you to decide to step inside. I can't wait to see you inside the Reclamation. In the meantime, if you have any questions about the Reclamation, come and DM me on Instagram at liveinspiredza. I want you to make the decision that's going to be best for you right now, and I want you to make the best informed decision